the first Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party.
Health problems?
That I don't know, right? What I know is that he was really health conscious. He was a vegan. He didn't abuse alcohol. I didn't know of him abusing drugs. He worked out, so, that also really concerned me because it made me think that, wow, so you mean you do all these things to take care of yourself and you die so young?
Honey, let me tell you, the way these names are popping up in Diddy's case is wild enough already. But seeing Prince connected to it, that was definitely not on my bingo card. Yes, we already knew that Diddy used Prince's house for some of his wildest, most over-the-top parties. Jason Lee let that little secret slip ages ago. But now here's the twist. What if Prince had the cameras rolling the whole time? For real! He was always known for being private, super calculated, and in full control of everything around him. So what if he was just watching from behind the scenes, recording it all without stepping foot into the chaos? Some folks out here truly believe he might have saved that footage, or even passed it off to someone before he passed away. And now, the whispers are getting louder. People are saying his name could end up being brought up in court. Phew! This trial is about to be something else. One for the books. And trust, I'm here for every single second of it. Now, during jury selection, a few names got tossed into the mix that had everyone doing double takes. Like, who expected to hear about Michelle Williams, Robert Downey Jr., Mike Myers, and Lauren London? What are they doing anywhere near this mess? It's chaos. But then, there are some names we fully expected to come up, like Cassie. Don't forget, she was the first to file a lawsuit, and she didn't hold back. In that lawsuit, she claimed a whole lot of disturbing things happened to her, and that Diddy's own staff and employees at Bad Boy Entertainment witnessed it all, but not a single person said a word. Not one. This thing is unfolding fast, and it's only getting crazier by the day. Now here's where it gets real disturbing. Cassie dropped some serious claims in that lawsuit, and they're not looking good for Diddy's team. According to her, it wasn't just him acting out. His assistants were directly involved too. She said they were the ones sent to deliver gifts to her after a violent incident. Like that was supposed to make things better. But that's not even the wildest part. She went on to say these same assistants helped set up what she called the freak-offs. Yeah, the exact scenes where all the twisted stuff went down. We're talking hotel suites being arranged with baby oil and Astroglide ready and waiting. It's outrageous. One detail that really hit people hard. Cassie said that after one of those nights, Diddy's own head of security and one of his assistants saw her, and both of them started crying. That tells you just how bad it must have been. So now, a bunch of those staff members are expected to be called in. There's no way they're staying out of this. And guess who else made the list? Harve Pierre. He was already named in a separate lawsuit by a Jane Doe. She said he talked her into flying out from Detroit to New Jersey, and that's where she claims she was assaulted by both him and Diddy. The accusations are heavy. Another name that popped up is Young Miami. She was reportedly on Diddy's payroll and allegedly played the role of substance transporter. Yeah, it's that deep. Then we've got Dallas Austin, a producer who was childhood friends with Kim Porter, Diddy's late ex. His name came up too, and people can't help but revisit the suspicious chatter around Kim's sudden passing. The streets are talking. Let's not forget Lorianne Gibson. She once went to the cops back in 2007, saying Diddy threatened her with a chair on the set of Making the Band. That story got buried, but now it's crawling back into the spotlight. And of course, Aubrey O'Day's name is floating too. She's been riding hard for Cassie ever since the allegations hit the fan. Aubrey even claimed Diddy tried to make unwanted moves on her and allegedly crossed lines with her Danity Kane bandmate, Dawn. This whole situation just keeps snowballing. Dawn. Richard's name came up too, and for good reason. She had already filed a lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of sexual misconduct, and the details were intense. According to her, everything started spiraling when she joined Making the Band. She said Diddy went off on female cast members, throwing out degrading insults like it was nothing. The way he treated those women behind the scenes, straight up disrespectful. But it got even darker. While working on music with him, Dawn claimed Diddy forced her into grueling rehearsals with no sleep, and when she was completely drained, that's when he allegedly took advantage. She didn't stop there either. She said she actually witnessed Diddy getting physical with Cassie while he was high. That's the kind of testimony that could blow this case wide open. And just when you think the list of names couldn't get any crazier, Michael B. Jordan gets brought into the conversation. Now, he wasn't involved in anything shady himself, but his name showed up in Cassie's lawsuit because they had a little flirty thing going on back in 2015. Seems like the prosecution might be interested in calling up most of Cassie's exes, and one of them, Kid Cudi. Now, his situation is straight up explosive. Literally. According to Cassie, she and Cudi had a brief fling in 2011 while she and Diddy were on a break. But when she got back with Diddy, he found some emails between the two, and that's when things got real twisted. The lawsuit claims Diddy got so heated he wanted to blow up Kid Cudi's car while he was home with his friends. And guess what? The car actually exploded in Cudi's driveway. That's not just jealousy, that's unhinged. We're definitely expecting more names to be dragged into this courtroom drama. But let me say it again, Prince's name being tied to this, especially with those whispers about a tape he might have had on Diddy, that shook me. Now I can't help but wonder, could all of this have something to do with Prince's death? Is that the real secret behind what happened to him? This rabbit hole runs deep. Now here's where things start feeling real eerie, because Prince seemed to know the end was near, before it happened. Just days before he passed, he posted a photo of himself with a now deleted message that read, "Just when you thought you were safe, that's chilling." And at his final public appearance at a party in Paisley Park, right after he supposedly got treatment, he told the crowd something that shook everyone. Wait a few days before you waste any prayers. And just like that, a few days later, Prince was gone. He was found unresponsive at his Minnesota estate at just 57 years old. Health officials ruled it an accidental overdose, fentanyl, from counterfeit Vicodin pills. But let's be real, none of it made sense. This was Prince we're talking about. The man was all about clean living. He wasn't out here doing hard substances like that. Something felt off from the jump. And here's another layer to it. Prince was in major battles with powerful people before he died. He didn't just make music. He fought hard to protect it. He went to war over ownership of his masters and control of his catalog. He wasn't scared to challenge the big dogs in the music industry, and some folks think that's exactly what got him in trouble. Some even say it got him killed. There are whispers, loud ones, that he might have paid the ultimate price for standing up for artists' rights and going against the industry machine. Whether Warner Brothers had any direct hand in it, that's still the big mystery. But many fans firmly believe they were connected to what happened. Prince signed with Warner Music way back in 1977 when he was just 18. His early albums, from 78 to 81, didn't exactly blow up, but the label kept him anyway. Why? Because even then, they knew he was special, a rare kind of genius. And maybe, just maybe, someone thought he had too much power, too much control. Now, with his name showing up in this Diddy trial mess, it's opening old wounds and raising new questions. Back in the day, Warner looked like a label that truly believed in nurturing real talent, like long game investment vibes. And that definitely worked in Prince's favor. By 1982, just a year after MTV launched, Prince dropped more heat and finally broke into the US top 10. He was part of that new wave of artists who understood the real power of music videos, not just as promo tools, but as a way to shape a whole mythology around yourself. He didn't just make music, he became the brand. Soon enough, fans were copying his style, his moves, everything. By 1984, when Purple Rain hit the streets, Prince wasn't just big, he was the biggest. Arguably the most electrifying, game-changing pop star alive at that point. But then, the trouble started. Prince realized he didn't truly own himself. Warner had full control, not just over the music, but even over his name. And that's when he flipped the script. He ditched the name Prince altogether and switched to that wild-looking symbol. People started calling him the artist formerly known as Prince, or just the symbol. He wasn't playing games. He was loud and clear about his battle for control, and he was out there telling the world what was really going on behind the scenes. Now here's where it gets real messy. Because guess who was cozying up to the very people Prince was fighting? Diddy. He struck a major deal with Warner Music Group, a joint venture that gave Warner a 50% stake in Bad Boy Records. That's half the label. Under that agreement, Warner handled all the global marketing and distribution for Bad Boy's full catalog, digital and physical, including artists from the past and the present. So while Prince was fighting to free himself from the machine, Diddy was teaming up with it. And that connection? It's got people looking at things a whole new way. When Diddy spoke about that Warner deal, he made it sound like a major win. He said, "There have been a lot of boutique record labels that come and go, and we are still here." According to him, this partnership guaranteed solid financial backing and the right kind of structure to keep Bad Boy a powerhouse in the industry for years. Sounds like he was setting up to play with the big leagues for good. But let's shift back to Prince. There's been talk that he might have known exactly what kind of parties Diddy was throwing. Those freak-offs everyone keeps whispering about. And some believe Prince made a conscious decision to stay as far away from Diddy as possible. But remember what Jason Lee said? That the very first Diddy party he ever went to was held at Prince's house. Now here's where things get shady. Jason said nobody was allowed to bring their own security. Think about that for a second. Why would someone ban personal security at a celebrity party unless they didn't want any outsiders seeing what went down? Prince letting Diddy throw those wild parties at his estate wasn't the secret. But what if, just what if, the security cameras at Paisley Park were rolling the whole time? This was Prince we're talking about. He was meticulous, private, and always calculated. What if he saved the footage or passed it off to someone he trusted before things got too hot? Now whispers are flying that Prince's name might actually come up in the trial. That alone is shaking people to their core. Maybe the man in purple knew way more than he let on. And maybe, just maybe, that knowledge put a target on his back. Even before his sister Tyka Nelson passed, she spoke about how Prince told her he was in trouble just days before his death. People used to say they weren't that close, but turns out they were. And if she was telling the truth, then there's a whole other layer to this story that hasn't even been touched. Back in 2018, Tyka Nelson opened up about her relationship with Prince, and what she revealed showed just how close they really were. She said they were tight growing up, and that their parents straight up told Prince he'd have to look after her. So wherever he went, she followed. He wasn't just her big brother, he was her protector. And when Tyka hit a rough patch with substance misuse, it was Prince who stepped in and pulled her back from the edge. She said when she reached out for help, he didn't hesitate. His response? Okay, when and where? No questions asked. He got her into rehab and helped save her life. But here's the part that'll make you pause. When Prince started feeling like his time was almost up, he didn't keep it to himself. According to Tyka, he spent 2 full years preparing her for his death. That kind of warning doesn't come out of nowhere. Prince knew something was coming. In an interview with the Minnesota Star-Tribune, Tyka Nelson opened up about the last conversation she had with her brother, just 4 days before Prince passed. And the way she described it, it hit different. She said he kept dodging her questions, and it made her mad. She just wanted him to open up, even for a couple of seconds. But every time she tried to get serious, he'd change the subject or crack a joke. They laughed a little, sure, but the truth was hanging heavy in the air. She said, "How are you really?" And even though he knew she was worried, he still wouldn't give her the real answer. That was all he wanted her to know. No more, no less. So one thing's for sure. Prince had a lot going on in those final days. Whether it had anything to do with Diddy, those alleged party tapes, or something even darker, it's all still a mystery. And whether his name will actually be pulled into this trial, we'll just have to wait and see. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think Prince really had recordings of what went down at those parties? Could that footage have put him in danger? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more wild updates. And don't forget to share this video. I'll catch you on the next one.